Hi guys, my name is Barbara and today I'm going to do a basic body block. A basic body block is a pattern that we use to create a garment. If you want to create your jacket, if you want to make your blouse, your dress, you start by a basic body block. Right. I'm going to be using my own measurements. For you to do this, you need to know your bust measurement, you need to know your waist, you need to know your hip measurement. You also need to have your shoulder measurement. And you also need to know the distance between the shoulder to the bust to the waist to the hip. Right, I'm going to start. You need your ruler, set square, a sharp curve, tape measure, and your paper scissors. Right, I'm going to be using my own measurements like I said. Right, I'll start on this top part here. This is where I'm going to create my shoulder. It's going to come from the top part, and this line here is automatically my center front and my center back. Right, because we're going to create a front and a back on the same pattern. Right, so I'm going to start from the top part here. I'll measure 8 inches from the corner of the paper. I will measure 8 inches. Right, 8 inches is for my shoulder. I've measured my shoulder and it's about 16 inches. So I've divided it by 2 and I got 8. This is what I'm measuring here, is the shoulder line. Right, from the corner of the paper here. On the same corner, I will measure 3 inches. 3 inches is for this part of the neck. This is where the neck is going to start, from this part here. Right, from the same corner, I'll just turn the tape measure. It's now on the center front line. I'll measure again 3 inches. This is this part now. This is my center front, so I want this part. Right, so I now have this 3 inches and I have this 3 inches. I have to connect this 3 inches and this 3 inches now using a sharp curve to shape the neck. I'm going to use the sharp curve. Right, like this. Right, going back to the 8 inches, there, I'm going to drop 1 inch on the 8 inches. The reason being, our shoulder is not straight, it's a bit slopey, so I'm dropping 1 inch to shape, to make the shoulder line. And I'm going to connect this 1 inch to the 3 inches there, which is the neck point. Right. And then on the same point there, I'm just going to square a line going down from the edge of the paper on the 8 inches. I'm just going to draw a line going down. I'll just draw a faint line going down. Right. And then from this corner now, which is this part now, I'm going to measure the distance between the shoulder and the bust. Right, I'll measure 11 inches. That's my measurement. When you are doing yours, you just measure your distance, right? From shoulder to bust. From bust, I'm using 7 inches. From waist to hip, I'm using 7 inches, right? On those points, I'm going to draw lines going that side now using a set square. This is a set square. This straight edge is going on the straight edge of the paper, but on the point that we have measured 11 inches from the shoulder. So I'll put my set square there and I'll draw a line going that side. And I'll do the same on the waist. Draw a line going that side. I'll do the same on the hip. I'll draw the line going that side. Right. Now I'm going to, sorry, let me just turn the camera. Right, I hope you guys can see now. Okay. Now on the bust line, this is now my bust line. This is our bust line. Bust line, waist line, hip line. Right. Now on the bust line, I'm going to put my bust measurement. My bust measurement is 42. I'll divide the 42 by 4. With me, I just I just do the folding method. I just fold my tape measure like that. And then I measure from the edge of the paper this is the center front. I measure on the bust line, my 42 inches there. And then I'll do the same on the waist. I get my waist measurement. I divide it by 4. The reason why I'm dividing by 4 is because we are working on quarter of a garment. Quarter of a garment. You will understand as we go, right? This is my waistline. I've put my quarter of waist here, right? This is the quarter of waist. I'm going to add dart allowance because there is a dart on the waist. So I'll add my 1.5 inches on the waistline. This is for dart allowance, right? I'll do the same on the hip. I divide my hip by 4 because we are working with quarter of a garment. And then I do the same. I measure from the center front going that side. This is my hip measurement, right? And then I have to connect the points. Let me use the marker so that we see. Now we have to connect those points, the hip, waist, and bust points. We have to connect these points now. Right. I'm going to use the sharp curve, this one. I will start with the hip. You connect using your sharp curve. You draw it like that, right? You see the position that I'm putting my sharp curve on the hip. Now I'm putting it on the bust to waist. I'll turn the sharp curve and it faces that side. I connect the points, right? use a thing. Right. Right. I hope we can all see. Right. Now we want to find this part here, the armhole. You see, we want to find this part now. It's on top of the bust. So it's the upper bust. For us to find the upper bust, we divide our bust by 6. We want to find this upper bust now so that we get the armhole. We divide our bust by 6. Our bust by 6. I just fold my tape measure by 3 and then I fold it again. This is by 6 now. Right. And then we go on the shoulder line. We measure going down. We measure going down. We mark the point. And then from there, we add about 1.5 inches. I'm going to add my 1.5 inches there. Right. This is my upper chest now. And then I draw a line going that side. From the center front to this point. I draw a line. Like this. Right. When I'm done like that, I measure from this corner. Okay, let me use a marker again. Right. So now this is our upper bust. So from this point, remember we have drawn this line. It's a faint line. Okay, let me just draw there so that you see. Right. Remember this line, I said you just do the square. You square a line from the edge of the paper there on the 8 inches, the first 8 inches going down, right? So now it is connected with the upper bust, which is this point. From this point, for us big women, from this point going that side, I normally use about 2.5 inches. So that we connect. It's either you just continue this line or you measure from here going to this point there, about 2.5 inches, right? Now I want to shape my armhole. You mark the center of this line now. You mark the center from this corner to the upper chest. You find the center there. You find the center. This is the center. Right. And then you measure 1/2 inch from the line going inside. 1/2 inch. This is 1/2 inch going inside. Right. And then when you are shaping, this is for front armhole. You use the sharp curve from the corner there to the 1/2 inch there. You do the shaping. Right. And then from 1/2 inch to the corner there, you just continue. you line like that. Now this is our front. This is our front armhole, front neck, right? After that, we are now going to do our back. Remember, I said we are going to do it from the same pattern, right? So I'm now doing my back neck. From the corner, I just mark my back neck on the same pattern, which is about 1/2 inch. Remember, I said when we are doing this, we want to create the front and back on the same pattern. So this is what I'm doing. This is the neck of my back. Right. Now I want to create the back armhole. On this point here, on the center of the armhole, I'm going to measure 1/2 inch going outside. Right. And then I'll shape from this corner to the 1/2 inch there. Okay. Right. Okay, let me shape again. Right. And then I'll continue to this point here. I'll continue this line to this point. Right. This is now my back armhole. Right. Now it's time for me to put dots on the pattern. For you to put dots on the pattern, you need to know your nipple to nipple. You measure from nipple to nipple, right? For me, it's 8 inches. I'm going to fold, because we use 1/2 nipple to nipple point, we use 1/2, right? So I'll measure my 4 inches going inside on the bust line, 4 inches. I'll mark 4 inches on the waist. I'll mark 4 inches on the hip, right? And then I'll draw a line. I'll connect these points. I'll connect these points here. Right, let me use a blue marker. Right. So now I'm going to measure the dot on the waist. Remember, we have used 1.5 inches on the waist. I'm transferring this 1.5 on this line, on the center line here. I'm dividing the 1.5 by 2. Like this. Right. And then from the bust, I drop 1.5. On the hip, I raise 2 inches, and then I'll connect the points. Right. So now this is our dart. This is our dart now. Right. Okay, so this is our pattern, our back and front. The there is a difference between the front and the back. The only difference is the back neck is up, the front neck is lower, the armhole of front is inside, and the armhole of back is outside. That's the only difference, right? So guys, this is our pattern. I'm going to bring another video showing you how to separate this. For now, this is our back and front basic body pattern. Thank you so much, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share the videos. I love you. Bye.